Which country is the most generous in the world? The war-torn state and country ruled by an oppressive military junta for decades are home to the world's most generous people, research suggests. People in Iraq are the kindest to strangers, while Myanmar's residents give the most away, according to the CAF World Giving Index 2016. In the last month, 8 in 10 Iraqis have helped someone they don't know, with Libyans helping almost as many. During the same period, 91% of those in Myanmar have given money to charity. In comparison, 63% of Americans, the second most generous overall, have donated money, with 73% helping a stranger. Hairdresser offers discount to people having a bad day. I went to Nigeria to meet the man who scammed me. The annual ranking places Myanmar, previously known as Burma, at the top of the list for the third year in a row, with more than half the population donating time, and 63% helping a stranger. The report said the generous giving reflected the practice of Sangha Dana, where the country's Theravada Buddhists majority donate to support those living a monastic lifestyle. The overall table, which takes into account financial donations, help offered to strangers and volunteering, ranks the UK as the most generous place in Europe, the United Arab Emirates in the Middle East, Kenya in Africa, and Guatemala in Latin America. China is named as the least generous country. However, the poll only takes into account the responses of 1,000 people on average in each of the 140 countries, and the Charities Aid Foundation acknowledges there is margin for error. But it is the kindness of Iraqis and Libyans to complete strangers in the face of years of conflict and terrible violence which stands out in the list. BBC correspondents are unsurprised by the findings, as both countries have long traditions of hospitality to those they don't know. Though often initially suspicious of foreigners they do not know, Libyans have an intrinsically generous culture, explained BBC North Africa correspondent Rana Joyd. In my experience, this became more apparent after Gaddafi was overthrown from power. Decades of anti-Western rhetoric and the police-state nature pre-2011 gave a distorted impression of Libyan hospitality. They were not unkind then, but just fearful of being helpful to foreigners or Libyan strangers. After the revolution, Libyans became vastly more welcoming of strangers and demonstrated it on every occasion they could. The persistent state of conflict since has probably contributed to the current ranking because in the absence of state authorities, civilians only have each other to turn to for help.